Hey everyone, and welcome back to another Tuesday tip, where in this video I'm going to be talking about 3 different ways to easily check whether or not your headset is loose on your BMX bike. So obviously this video is geared a little bit more towards beginners and not those of us who are more experienced in working on our bikes and know what a loose headset feels like before we even test it. So let's get into this quick one about 3 different ways that you can check to see whether or not your headset is loose. The first one is very simple and straightforward, and you can do it just sitting on your bike without needing anything other than flat ground to sit on, I guess. And what you do is you sit on your bike, you turn your handlebars 90 degrees to the side, as you can see that I'm doing here, and you just rock your bike forward and backwards. What you're looking for in testing whether or not your headset is loose is kind of just a general feeling of looseness and a feeling that things aren't quite as tight as they could be. It kind of feels like you're hitting one stopping point and then moving the opposite direction and hitting another stopping point. What you want to pay attention to with this method is that you have a little bit of wiggle room because of your tire and rim, and this isn't exactly the best way to do it, but if your headset is loose, you 100% can tell from this method. Another method that you can use while sitting on your bike is to find something solid that you can lean your bike against, like for example, this garage door behind me, and you'll pretty much do the exact same thing. So I'm gonna turn and face this way a little bit, put the tire against the garage door, and then I'm just gonna push forward and backward with the bike, and I'm gonna pay special attention to my hands on the grips, because pushing forward and pulling backwards with the hands on the grips is what's going to give you the feeling of looseness if your headset is loose. So we're going forward and backward, and what we're looking for with this one is kind of the same thing that I talked about with the other method, in that we're feeling for a movement to one side and then a stopping point, and then a movement to the other side and a stopping point. And realistically, this is something that you will learn with time, and you will get a really strong feeling towards, so that you will know without a shadow of doubt that your headset is loose most of the time, like I said, before you even test it, because you can just tell while you're riding. So just leaning against a solid object, pushing forward and backwards, feeling for that general looseness in the stopping point on either side of your push and your pull. And the last method that I want to talk about for checking your headset is what I think is the most definitive test, because it is so much more obvious when a headset is even just a little bit loose by using this method than either of the other ones that I've talked about. So with that, what it is flipping your bike upside down, putting it down so that the bars are on the ground and your seat or your back tire is on the ground. And what we're going to do here is grab our forks and just push back and forth. And as you can see here, there is a little bit of play due to the seat having cushion, but if our headset was loose here, we would immediately be able to tell, and it's that exact same thing that I talked about before, where you're pushing and you're pulling and you feel a movement that starts and stops as you're pushing and pulling. This way, everything feels solid, nothing feels like it's wiggling around, and nothing just feels generally loose like we've talked about. So with that being said, my headset is tight on this bike, but if it wasn't, what you would do is simply loosen the side bolts on your stem and then tighten your cap just a little bit, and then tighten your side bolts back up and perform the test again. And a good way to test that you didn't tighten your headset too much is that once everything is tightened back up, you want to lift up your bike and spin your handlebars. And if they can spin around relatively easy without you feeling that general looseness when you do the headset test, your headset isn't too tight and isn't too loose and is right in the sweet spot. That's definitely something that we want to check regularly, especially if you feel like something is kind of not right while you're riding, because chances are this is one of those things that could go unnoticed. And if we don't check it, people do say that if you have a loose headset and you ride on it long enough, you can ovalize the head tube in your frame. And that means that instead of Your head tube being a circle like this, it's an oval and it's oblong and longer on one side than the other, and your circle bearings can't sit in there flush and tight the way that they're supposed to. So basically you'll have a loose headset forever until you get a new frame, and that's not something that we want. So like I said before, this video is geared towards the beginners and those of us who might have just gotten a complete bike or are just learning about working on our bikes. Hopefully it helps you out, and hopefully it prevents you from ovalizing the head tube on your frame. And with that being said, that's going to wrap up this video about the 3 easy ways to check whether or not your headset is loose on your BMX bike. Hope you guys learned something. If you did and enjoyed the video, let me know in the comments down below. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button down below. I come out with tips and tricks videos just like this one on a huge range of topics, on everything from beginner topics to advanced topics, tricks, and working on your bike. I come out with that every Tuesday. I come out with a BMX news video on Fridays and other types of riding videos and streams throughout the week. I want to thank you guys for being here to watch, and we will see you tomorrow for another video. Goodbye.